What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's edition of SWAC Talk, the show we cover the SWAC inside and out. Of course, I'm your tour guide, CWells, coming at you. And yes, it's Tuesday, and I'm here gonna do the tournament preview today because the tournament starts tomorrow. So I wanted to be able to sit back and enjoy the games like everybody else. So get my preview out today, and then we can catch all the SWAC tournament action. Um, Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I will do instant reaction after every game. We're gonna just hop on YouTube, do a short video after each game to go over the box score and whatever thoughts I had about the game. Won't be long, just pop in and pop out. So gonna do that. Of course, no show tomorrow. Like I said, Thursday, Swag Smoke. We have a special guest on the show, so make sure y'all tune in for that. And Sunday, we're gonna recap the SWAC tournament, and then probably Monday, Tuesday, I don't know which one I'm gonna preview the NCAA tournament opponents for the men and the women, whoever make it, and if something happens, the NIT opponent for the SWAC regular season champs. So, with all that being said, man, you can see the socials on the screen scrolling away. Facebook, SWAC Talk; Instagram, SWAC Talk; Twitter, SWAC Talk 76; and email swagtalk76@gmail.com. Also, if you would like to, show some support to the show, help us grow, you can hit the Cash App. That's $SWAG Talk, and that would be much appreciated. Also, since you're here, if you haven't done so already, won't you please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can be alerted to any video that I upload, especially like a day like today, where I'm not recording on where I'm uploading on a non-scheduled day. You'll get this notification that the video is there and you won't have to miss it at all. And like the video, share them. Feel free to comment. Let me know who you think gonna win the SWAC tournament, and maybe what seed the winner gonna get, and can anybody beat JSU women team? That's what we gonna talk about. So, with all that being said, man, let's jump directly into everything. First and foremost, they announced the all SWAC honors today, so we'll start with the women. I don't have any real complaints about either men or women's teams or winners awards, so that's a good thing because sometimes the SWAC can be kind of shaky with with those winners. But obviously, um, uh, the non-surprise is Amisha Williams from Jackson State. She is the player of the year and the defensive player of the year. She averaged 20.6 points per game, 11.5 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks per game this year. She had 18 double-doubles. She had a career high of 33 points and 11 rebounds against Florida A&M. She had 26 points and 11 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 3 steals against Alabama A&M. She also was a key contributor to the team that was crowned the 2022 SWAC regular season champs. They also were the champs last year, so big factor on that team. Zay Green was the newcomer of the year. She's from UAPB. She was a former McDonald's All-American. She was a dominant force for the Golden Lions this year. She averaged 17.1 points per game, 8.1 rebounds per game, 5.1 assists, 2.2 steals, and 0.9 block per game. That's a stat sheet stuffer, man. You can't ask for much more than that. She was the player of the week on December 8th and Impact Player of the Week on February 18th after she had a triple-double and a double-double against Alabama Alcorn. She had a triple-double against Alcorn, 26, 10, and 10, and 3 steals. And against Jackson State, she had a double-double, 19 and 11, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 steals. So, she's a player that can really, get out there. And so she's the SWAC newcomer of the year. Zanaya White from Alcorn is the freshman of the year. She led all SWAC freshmen with 13.3 points per game. She hit over 40% of her shots from the field. She's ranked top 10 in the SWAC for freshmen with an average of 4.2 rebounds per game. And she tallied 17 steals, which is tied for second on the Lady Braves team. Coach of the year, no surprise, Coach Tamika Reed from Jackson State. She led this team to an undefeated SWAC regular season, and they have won 29 consecutive SWAC games dating back to last season. and they're looking for another SWAC tournament championship. So she's the straw that stirs this drink of the JSU women's team, and they've been playing some good basketball all year. And you got to give her a lot of credit for putting this team together and keeping them focused all throughout the year, because it's hard to go undefeated in conference play in basketball. You can easily drop a game here or there, and you can lose focus one night, and your undefeated conference record is going down the drain. So she did a great job of keeping those ladies motivated and keeping them on task. And she had a team that kind of knew what they needed to do, and she let them do what they had to do, and they picked up a ton of dubs. So she is the rightful winner of the SWAC Coach of the Year. SWAC first team: Misha Williams from Jackson State, Zay Green from Arkansas Pine Bluff, Ayana Emanuel from Alabama State, Adriana Avent from Texas Southern, and Alexis Holt from Grambling. Second team: Ataya Bridges from Texas Southern, Dariana Lewis from Alabama A&M, Nigeria Jones from Alabama A&M, Diana Rosenthal from Prairie View, and Daisha Rogan from Jackson State. No real complaints about anybody on this list. I mean, obviously, you can always probably make a case for somebody, but everybody deserved to win the awards that they won, and everybody deserved to have their spot on the all conference team. So salute to all those young ladies for the effort that they put in this season, and hopefully we get to see some good play from them in the tournament. Speaking of the tournament, we're gonna take a look at the women's side of the tournament first, and we're gonna I'm gonna kind of try to pick each round and see what happens. Obviously everybody knows this is probably like they like to say, the JSU Invitational. Somebody's gonna have to knock off JSU to get to the championship. Somebody's gonna have to knock off JSU to win the championship, and obviously that has not been done yet this year. So can somebody do this in a one-game situation? Do or die. We'll see. They've had a couple close calls this year, not many, but they've had a couple. So and two of those teams are well, really all three of the teams that are on their side of the bracket have given them a close game. And when I say close, I mean 8-9 points or less. TSU actually lost to them by 1 at home. So Pine Bluff gave them a good run in Pine Bluff, and Southern went to the fourth quarter with them in Jackson. So those three teams are pretty much the three teams that have played them relatively close, and they're all on their side of the bracket. So if you wanted to be a person who really didn't want to be status quo and go all chalk with this, then you could easily pick one of those three teams to win. But I'm not gonna really say too much on that till I get to it. But we're gonna start with the first game, which is tomorrow at 11 a.m. and that's the 2 seed Alabama A&M Lady Bulldogs against the 7 seed GSU Lady Tigers. This game, it will be broadcast on ESPN Plus. The entire women's tournament can be seen live on ESPN Plus. So make sure you check that out. Just a quick look at some of the numbers, and just for transparency, I like to use the conference only stats. I mean, it don't really change a lot. Some numbers may go up a little bit, but I like to use the conference only stats, especially in a matchup like this, because you're really looking more at how they play against each other. So Alabama A&M averaging 64 points per game in conference play. Grambling is third in the league at 70.2 points per game in conference play. Defensively, Alabama A&M is third in the league at 60 points per game, and Grambling is sixth in the league at 65.6. So A&M definitely is a team that plays with a little bit of a slower tempo. They have two players that can fill a bucket up, but they don't really score a lot of points, but they defend really well. So that's going to be an edge for them. Just as a caveat, Alabama A&M, did I say? Hold up. Alabama A&M, they actually went 1-0 against. They lost. They went 1-1 against Grambling this season. So they split a couple. They split a couple times. So this will be a very interesting matchup. Field goals: Alabama A&M is shooting 40% from the field. Grambling is shooting 42%. Defensively, the Bulldogs allow 36% shooting, and Grambling is allowing 43% shooting from the field. 3-point shooting, Grambling shoots 31% from three, and A&M shoots 25%. So neither team really fills it up, but that 31% by Grambling is actually fourth in the league. So they can make some shots if you get them open shots, but typically they won't hurt you that much with the threes. Alabama A&M is the same. 3-point defense, Grambling allows 28% shooting from 3-point range, and Alabama A&M allows their opponents to shoot 31%. So they both pretty much defend the three pretty well. This team is probably going to come down to a matchup of tempo and style. A&M wants to kind of play a little bit slower and get the ball inside to Dariana Lewis and have Jones on the outside working on the perimeter. Grambling has multiple players that they can throw at you that can get the job done. Grambling leads the league in free throw percentage at 72%. A&M is at 70%. Grambling's opponents shoot 66% from the free throw line, and A&M's opponents shoot 63%. So they both have benefited from opponents not shooting great. Rebounding, the edge goes to Alabama A&M. They average 41 rebounds per game, which is second in the league. Grambling is 11th at 33 rebounds. Grambling allows the third least amount of rebounds by the opponent is 35.9, which is third in the league. And A&M's opponents, they average 37 rebounds per game. So A&M has the rebounding edge. I think they have the size edge, so that can help them a lot in a game like this. Turnovers, A&M averages 17.2 turnovers a game. They force 15.6. Grambling averages 16.1 turnovers per game, and they force 18.9. So neither team really has the edge in the turnover battle. Grambling forces more turnovers, and A&M turns the ball over slightly more. So obviously that stands to be the issue right there for taking care of the basketball. Blocks, A&M is second in the league at 4.3. Grambling is seventh at 2.5 blocks per game. Assists, A&M averages 12.6 assists per game, and Grambling averages 13.5, so that's pretty even. Quick look at some of the leaders on the team. Right now, the leading scorer for Grambling is Alexis Holt. She's averaging 17.6 points per game. Nigeria Jones is at 17.2, and Dariana Lewis is at 17.2. So the Bulldogs have two players at 17 points. And Justice Coleman from Grambling, she's averaging 14.9. So there's a few people who can score the ball. Ariel Williams from Grambling, she's also averaging 12 points per game. So I really do like what A&M is doing. They've come on strong. They've won 7 games in a row at this point in the season. So you kind of expecting a team to come in that's on a winning streak like that. You kind of expect them to stay on it. But, you can also see this team maybe not coming out as sharp as they can, playing at 11 in the morning. That's the early game. That's the first game of the tournament. Sometimes, you can kind of get caught sleepwalking a little bit and find yourself in a battle that can really, do you in. So they I like the Bulldogs to win this game. I think, they're going to keep the status quo in this one. But I think Grambling is going to give them a run. And it's going to be a tough battle, but I think Grambling will drop this one to A&M. Game 2 is at 5:30 on Wednesday, and that's number 1 Jackson State against number 8 Pine Bluff. These two teams had a very close game in Pine Bluff. Jackson obviously is a machine. We know how they get down. They're leading the league at 82 points per game on scoring. Pine Bluff averages 67. Jackson State's opponents average 56 points per game, and Pine Bluff's opponents average 67. So obviously the scoring edge goes to JSU on both ends. They do a good job of defending, and they just can, run you out of the gym. Field goal percentage, Jackson State shoots 45%. Pine Bluff shoots 38%. Jackson State's opponents shoot 33%. Pine Bluff's opponents shoot 39%. So defensively, not a big difference, but JSU, they just get it done in the paint. They have so much size that they put a lot of pressure on you to make some plays. And if you can't score the ball, or you can't take care of the ball, and you find yourself falling behind, JSU will snow you under big time. 3-point shooting, Jackson State is averaging 29% shooting from three. Pine Bluff's at 26, so neither one of them really shoot the three very well. JSU doesn't really need the 3-point shot to win, but Pine Bluff's gonna have to knock down some threes and do it consistently in this game to get themselves a chance. JSU's opponents shoot 27% from three. Pine Bluff's opponents shoot 34, which is last in the league. So JSU can get, if they can get some shots up and make a couple, that will put some space between them and Pine Bluff. But I don't really foresee a situation where this team has taken Pine Bluff's best punch, I believe. Free throws, Jackson State is at 71%. Pine Bluff's at 67. Rebounding, the edge goes to JSU. Although Pine Bluff's a very good rebounding team as well. JSU averages 49 rebounds per game. Pine Bluff's at 41. JSU's opponents average 30 rebounds per game, and Pine Bluff's opponents average 40. So Pine Bluff, they rebound well, but they do allow a lot of rebounds. JSU does not give you many opportunities on the boards. So you have to take advantage of any chances that you get to get rebounds on missed shots or to get yourself a second chance on offensive rebounds. But that's a tough order against a team like JSU, who is led by Amisha Williams, who averages a double-double. They have so many players that can hurt you. Deja Rogan, she's another one that can get after you. Zay Green is the key to Pine Bluff. She scores the ball. She does. She's a Swiss Army knife on this team. But Maya Pete was somebody who early in the season was, really getting out there on the boards. She's gonna have to, really hold her own inside as well to give Pine Bluff a chance. But I like JSU. I pretty much think JSU gonna win the tournament. So, I'm not gonna pick against them in this game. But I think Pine Bluff can give them a go. I mean, they've already done it once. Can they do it again? That's going to be the key. Teams have to beat JSU to win this tournament. The cliche, JSU doesn't have to beat anybody. They have to beat them. So, I think the pressure is on everybody who plays JSU. I know you can say the pressure is on the top team to make it through, but, unless somebody can really put a lot of pressure on JSU and force them in the uncomfortable situations, this team is probably going to roll through this tournament. But I'm hoping for interesting games coming up. But, we'll see. The third game is Alabama State versus number 6 Prairie View, and that game is on Thursday. That's 11 a.m. tip-off. These two teams, they kind of Prairie View, did really well against A&M this year. They went 1-0 against Alabama A&M this year, so they have an opportunity to win these games. Prairie View scores the ball fairly well. They average 64 points per game. Alabama State is averaging 63. Prairie View allows the opponents to score 71 points per game, and Alabama State's opponents, they score. Let me jump back to the conference only stats. Sorry about that. Alabama State is averaging 69 points per game in conference play. Prairie View at 64. Alabama State's opponents score 64 points per game. Prairie View's opponents score 67. Field goals, Alabama State is shooting 41% from the field. Prairie View right behind them at 40.9%. Alabama State's opponents shoot 36% from the field. Prairie View's opponents shoot 37% from the field. As you can see, these teams are kind of even. It's a 3-6 matchup, but they're kind of even. Prairie View shoots 32% from three. Alabama State, they shoot 33% from three-point line. Alabama State leads the league in three-point defense at 24%. Prairie View's opponents shoot 29%. Prairie View shoots 70% from the free throw line. Alabama State shoots 68%. Rebounding, Alabama State averages 40.7 rebounds per game. Prairie View 37.9. Alabama State's opponents average 37.6 rebounds per game. Prairie View's opponents average 38.5. Again, like you see, stats are almost relatively even. Prairie View averages 21 turnovers a game. They turn the ball over a lot. They're the team with the highest turnovers per game in the league. They force 17.8 turnovers per game. Alabama State averages 19.4 turnovers a game, and they forced 18.9. So, like I said, these numbers, I mean, this is probably as even a matchup as you can get with a team that has a decent gap in the standings. Um, block shots, Alabama State blocks 3.8 blocks per game. Prairie View at 4 per game. Assists, Prairie View averages 15.4 assists. Alabama State 15.8. 15 and a half. These numbers are very, very even. There's not a lot of difference in these teams. Prairie View averages 9.7 steals per game. Alabama State averages 8.1 steals per game. So I like this matchup a lot. I think this matchup can honestly go either way. Alabama State, they're coming off of a loss to Grambling at the end of the season. Prairie View's coming in off of a big win over Texas Southern. Alabama State, led by Ayana Emanuel, she went for 41 against Bethune-Cookman. She averages 18.1 points per game in conference play. And she's going to be somebody who can fill the bucket up. Shamaya Ward from Alabama State, she averages 13.4 points per game. Diana Rosenthal is the key for Prairie View. She's their leading scorer. So, you want to get her going. But Prairie View is going to be a team. They're going to come out and they're going to try to get up and down and make some plays. But I think Alabama State's gonna pull this one out. I think they have been relatively hot before they lost their last game, so I think they can I think they can rebound in this game and get themselves back on track. So I like Alabama State in this game against Prairie View. I think they'll pick up a victory there. The final first round game is Southern and Texas Southern. That's the 4 or 5 matchup. Southern is a 4 seed. Texas Southern is a 5 seed. That's a 5:30 tip-off on Thursday. These two teams, they split their season series. They both won at home. They both won by 10 points. The first game, Texas Southern turned the ball over like 25 times. The second game, they didn't turn the ball over as much. TSU can score. They're second in the league in scoring at 76.4 points per game, and they've crossed 80 points a couple of times. I think they crossed 90 once. Southern averages 65 points per game. They more get it done with defense. If Southern can force turnovers and get transition buckets, that helps them a lot. TSU, they have a two-headed monster on the offensive unit. Adriana Avent leads the league in scoring at 20.9 points per game. Achea Bridges, she averages 18.9. Either one of those young ladies can go for 30 in a game at any moment. So you really have to keep tabs on both of them. Southern doesn't necessarily have, anybody that blows your way numbers-wise. They have a team that typically, they're going to, their high person typically going to be 13, 14 points. They have a couple people who can hurt you if they can get hot. Amani McWayne is Southern's leading scorer. She averages 12.3 points per game. And another name to look out for Southern is Genovia Johnson. She averages 11.9 points per game. So obviously, if you look at the scoring numbers, that's a big edge for TSU. Southern, like I said, defensively, Southern is probably better. They allow their opponents score 59.4 points per game. TSU's opponents score 71.9. TSU, they're an up-tempo team, so they're going to give up points. Southern likes to play a little bit slower. They will push the ball, but they are more of a team who wants to score in the 60s. Texas Southern shoots 43% from the field. Southern shoots 39%. And Southern's shooting has been an issue all year as far as consistency. Some games they make a lot of shots. Some games they miss a lot of shots. So you don't know what you're going to get from Southern shooting-wise from game to game, and that's a problem. Texas Southern's opponents shoot 39%. Southern's opponents shoot 40%. Three-point shooting, TSU leads the league at 33% from the three-point line. Southern averages 27% shooting from three. They don't really hit a lot of shots. They take a lot of threes, but they don't make a lot of threes. They actually only have made 90 threes on the season, but they've taken 328. TSU's made 130, and they've taken 386. TSU averages 6.8 made threes per game. Southern averages 4.5 made threes per game. Southern's opponents shoot 29.5% from the 3-point line. TSU's opponents shoot 25. So defensively, both teams defend the three well. TSU shoots the three well. Free throws is another Achilles heel for Southern. They're last in the league in free throw shooting at 58%. You're not gonna, it's amazing that they've won as many games as they have, shooting 58% from the free throw line. That's more than 4 points less than the 11th place team. TSU shoots 71% from the line. So it comes down to free throw shooting. The edge can go to TSU. Southern's opponents shoot 69% from free throw line. TSU's opponents shoot 66. Rebounding, TSU averaging 38.1 rebounds per game. Southern 35.1. Southern's opponents 35.3 rebounds per game. TSU's opponents 42.2. So the edge slightly goes to Southern. They don't get out rebounded by much. TSU gets out rebounded pretty well. Southern turns the ball over 14.8 times per game, and they force 22, which is the tops in the league. TSU turns the ball over 20.1 times per game, and they force 20.2 turnovers per game. So obviously, Southern edge is defense as far as forcing turnovers and making plays in that aspect. If they can't turn TSU over, and this is just a conventional game, Southern's going to struggle, especially if their shots not falling, or they fall in love with the three, which they will do from time to time, even though they don't shoot the ball consistently from three, and they don't shoot well inside at times, and they also don't make free throws. So obviously, a lot of things are stacking up against Southern. They've been on a cold streak coming into this tournament now, and it's kind of hard to see them snapping that streak in this game. TSU is hot. Even though they're fifth place, they're a hot team. They're capable of scoring a lot of points. If they can control the tempo, then I think they have a really good shot at winning this game. If Southern can force turnovers like they did in the first game against TSU and capitalize on those turnovers, then I think Southern has a good shot. But I'm going to go with TSU. I think they're hot right now, and I think they'll pick up the victory in that game. So that sets up a semifinal of Alabama A&M against Alabama State. The Bulldogs swept the Hornets this year, and I like the Bulldogs to win this game again. I think it's gonna be a dog fight because it's a rivalry, but I like Alabama and them to win that game. The second semifinal is on March 11th. That's Friday at 5:30 p.m. The first semifinal is Friday, March 11th at 11 a.m. The second semifinal will be in my bracket, JSU against Texas Southern. This last time these two teams matched up, TSU gave JSU all they could handle, and it came down to a controversial last-second play. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think JSU is going to, win this game. I don't think they're going to win it handily, but I think TSU is going to probably get them the toughest test that they're going to have in this tournament. But I think JSU will win that game, which sets up a championship game of Alabama A&M against Jackson State. I went, chalk 1-2 matchup. I don't really see a lot of upsets on the women's side. Things are pretty, there's not as much chaos on the women's side as the men's side. So I think, the seeds will pretty much play out as they are. And I think JSU will beat Alabama A&M in this game. A&M has a nice 1-2 punch, but I don't think they have enough offense to get past JSU. So I think JSU will win this tournament. And depending on what happens in other tournaments, I can see JSU actually ending up with a 15 seed. I don't know if they can get higher than that, but I think they can get a 15, especially if they really run roughshod on the tournament. I think they can get themselves a good opportunity to get themselves a good shot to get in the tournament and maybe even get themselves an opportunity to win a game in the tournament. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Like I said, this is one of those games, one of those tournaments where I don't really see a lot of upsets happening. I think both teams are gonna kind of stay in it. They're gonna get themselves opportunities to win, and I think the lower seeds won't be able to really capitalize as much on chaos like on the men's side. So I'm really looking forward to this matchup. I think it's still going to be an entertaining tournament. Like I said, I know I'm making it sound like JSU just going to walk away with everything, but I think that JSU will, they will be a tough team to beat. And if you're playing a team like that, then you have to find a way to win these kind of games. But I like JSU, so that's enough rambling on that. Let's jump to the men's side where things will be not as cut and dry because I think the men's side will be total chaos. But we're going to start with the all tournament honors first and foremost. We'll start with that, and then we'll jump into the men's tournament. The MJ Randolph is the SWAC player of the year. JaVarius McKinnis from Jackson State is the defensive player of the year. Pine Bluff, Sean Williams was the newcomer of the year. Valley's Gary Grant is the freshman of the year. And Alcorn's Landon Bussey is the coach of the year. Well deserved. Took a team that was picked to finish 8th, took them to a regular season SWAC championship, and have them in position for an NCAA tournament and at worst an NIT bid. So a very good first year for him. Very good opportunity for JSU for Alabama State to make some things happen. So let's look at MJ Randolph. He led FAMU and the SWAC in scoring at 18.8 points per game. He ranked 3rd in field goal percentage, 4th in assists per game, 4th in steals per game, 2nd in defensive rebounding per game, and 4th in total rebounds. He scored 30-plus points 3 times and 20-plus points 14 times in conference play. He won SWAC Player of the Week 5 times this year. Dude was a scoring machine. He don't even shoot a lot of threes. That's what really impresses me about his scoring. He's a mid-range guy, and he can get to the bucket also, but he's not going to shoot a lot of threes, and he can still get 20 or 30 points a game. McKinnis was a significant contributor for JSU. He led the team in scoring at 12.3 points per game. He led the team in rebounding at 10.2 rebounds per game and 2.9 blocks per game. He led the league in rebounds per game, blocks per game, and field goal percentage. He had 20 double-digit scoring games, 15 double-digit rebounding games, and 14 double-doubles on the season. Sean Williams averaged 16.6 points per game for Pine Bluff. He ranked 2nd in the league in scoring. He ranked 6th in the conference in assists per game at 3.4. He made over 40% of his shots. He ranked 2nd in three-point field goal percentage and 4th in assist turnover ratio for the season. Gary Grant ranked 7th in the league in free throws made for Valley. He scored in double digits in 18 of the 28 games for Valley, and he had 3 double-digit rebounding games. He led the team in double-doubles, field goal percentage, rebounds per game, and blocks, averaging 10.4 points per game. And Coach Bussey led Alcorn to a 14-4 overall record in league play. They claimed the regular season SWAC championship and the #1 seed in the tournament. This regular season championship was the first for Alcorn since 2001, 2002. So big time improvement and turnaround for Alcorn, and great coaching for them. MJ Randolph, first team all conference. Jawan Daniels from Prairie View, first team all conference. McKinnis from JSU, first team all conference. Jalen Johnson from Alabama A&M, and Sean Williams rounds out the first team. Second team, Joe French from Bethune-Cookman, Tyrone Lyons from Southern, Justin Thomas from Alcorn, Jaden Sadler from Southern, and Cameron Christian from Grambling. They round out the second team all SWAC unit. So let's jump directly into this tournament, man. Let's see let's see how I feel about the chaos that's probably gonna take place in the men's side of things. The tournament starts on Wednesday, March 9th. The 2 p.m. game is #2 TSU against #7 JSU. These two teams split when they played in the regular season, so you can kind of expect this to be a tough game. JSU plays, really good defense. They're a defensive team. They really do a good job of slowing games down and making it tough for you to score. This should be a pretty interesting tournament for JSU since Coach Brent has announced his retirement. Reports are that Mo Williams from Alabama State would be the head coach. So can Coach Brent go out with a lot of a tournament run? We'll see. But JSU, they don't score a lot of points. They're last in the league in scoring. At 63 points per game, TSU averages 72. Jackson State leads the league in scoring defense at 63.9, and TSU is third at 64 points per game. So the scoring edge obviously goes to TSU. TSU has a balanced offensive attack. They have quite a few guys who can score. JSU, obviously, they want to go inside out with McKinnis first, and maybe they can knock down a couple shots from outside. TSU shoots 44% from the field. Jackson State shoots 42. Texas Southern's opponents shoot 39% from the field. JSU's opponents shoot 42. 3-point shooting, Texas Southern shoots 32% from 3-point line. JSU 28. 3-point defense, 31% for TSU's opponents. JSU's opponents shoot 32, so that's kind of even. Free throws, TSU shoots 66% from the free throw line. JSU 63. Neither team's a good free throw shooting team. Rebounding, TSU averages 38 rebounds per game. JSU 36. JSU's opponents average 30 rebounds per game. Texas Southern's 34. Turnovers, Jackson State turns the ball over 12.1 times per game, and they force 10. So they don't turn the ball over a lot, but they also don't force a lot of turnovers. Texas Southern averages 14 turnovers per game, and they average 14 and they force 13. So defensively, these two teams kind of match up. The difference to me is TSU has a more capable offense. JSU is not really gonna kill you with their offense, but if they can get a couple guys, like Terrence Lewis to chip in and help out, that can really help JSU. Texas Southern has they have a few guys who can score. They don't have anybody really that ranks in the top of the conference in scoring, but you have guys like John Carl Nicholas, John Jones, Bryson Grisham, Etienne, AJ Lawson, John Walker. You can run down guys who can score for this team. They're a balanced team. They just don't have anybody who really can go out there and consistently be the guy to score a lot of points. So I said it before, sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not good. But TSU, I think they're playing well. Prairie View gifted them a game on Saturday, but I think TSU is a team that's built for March. Coach Jones knows how to win in March. Going back to when Coach Davis, when he was there, Mike Davis, this was a March team. They know how to win in the tournament. Nothing's going to be too big for them, and they're going to be a factor in this tournament. So I like TSU to win this game. I think they're gonna win this game. It's going to be close because JSU style of play makes things a little iffy in a tournament setting. The next game on March 9th is number 1 Alcorn against number 8 Prairie View. And don't let this 1-8 fool you. I've said it multiple times, and Prairie View they didn't play their best game against Texas Southern close out the season, and they've been kind of up and down. But this is a dangerous team. These two teams did split the regular season series, and Alcorn needed a last second, almost half court 3 to beat Prairie View in Prairie View to avoid getting swept by the Panthers. So this could be a very interesting matchup. One of the things about Alcorn that I don't like is and it's a byproduct of a team basically being young and not really being in the position that they're used to being in, is they are capable. They blow leads a lot. Sometimes they're able to right the ship at the end and win, but they've had a few games where they've had double-digit leads and they've blown them. So that can hurt them in a tournament setting if they can't get that ship righted. Then that can hurt them. But Alcorn's averaging 72 points per game. Prairie View's also averaging 72 points per game. Defensively, Alcorn's opponents average 67 points per game. Prairie View 69. Field goals, Alcorn leads the league at 45% shooting. Prairie View is at 44% shooting. Field goal defense, Prairie View's opponents shoot 42%. Alcorn's opponents shoot 42% as well. 3-point shooting, Prairie View shoots 37% from 3. Alcorn 33. Alcorn's opponents, they shoot 36% from 3. Prairie View's opponents shoot 31. So that's probably one of the biggest differences right there is 3-point defense, but both teams shoot threes fairly even. Alcorn shoots 69% from the free throw line. Prairie View shoots 68. Rebounding, Alcorn, they average 37 rebounds per game. Prairie View 37 as well. Prairie View's opponents 32 rebounds per game. Alcorn's 32 turnovers. Alcorn averages 13.8 turnovers a game. They force 12.8. Prairie View averages 16.9 turnovers per game. They force 14.1. Not that big of a difference. Looking at individual guys, Prairie View is led by Juwan Daniels. He averages 16.4 points per game. Jeremiah Gambrell, a guy who can really shoot the three. He can get hot like he did against TSU and a few other games. He can get hot from three, and he can be a problem in a tournament. He averages 15.3 points per game. Alcorn, Justin Thomas, 12.6 points per game. Keandre Montgomery, 12.4. You know, they have Alcorn's a more balanced team, but Prairie View has dynamic guys. This is an underrated matchup, honestly, man. Like I said, this is a very dangerous 1-8 matchup, and I'm tempted to pick Prairie View, but I'm gonna pick Alcorn. I mean, this is a pretty even matchup. It could go either way, but I think Alcorn is gonna win this game. It's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be another close game, but I think Alcorn will find a way to win this game. They need to play more games, not necessarily margin of victory, but they need more complete games like they got against Pine Bluff to close out the season. That was probably one of the best games Alcorn played all year. So if they can focus like that and keep a lead and maintain it, then I like them to win this game. If Prairie View can force the action and Gambrell can get hot, then Alcorn can have some trouble. But I don't like Prairie View's late game management either. So they've had a couple games that they let get away from them, and I don't like that. So I think Alcorn will find a way to win this game. The third quarterfinal is on Thursday, March 10th. That's a 2:00 tip-off. Southern and Grambling. Again, this is another matchup where the lower seed has had success against the higher seed. Grambling swept Southern this year. I mean, Southern had multiple opportunities to beat Grambling in Baton Rouge. They blew a lead. Grambling came back, hit a last-minute three to put them up, and free throws won that game for them. In Grambling, the game was a little bit more favoring Grambling, but Southern had opportunities. So Grambling has been successful against Southern in recent years, which is kind of a flip-flop of how things usually have been. But Southern is an enigma. They're a team who can score because they're averaging 72 points per game, which leads the league in conference play. Defensively, they're second in the league in scoring defense at 64.8. Grambling is averaging 69 points per game, and they allow 69 points per game as well. Southern's been cold these last few games. They're shooting 44%. They had a stretch of games in the season where they shot 50% plus for like 6 or 7 straight games. And now they've cooled off, and they're honestly shooting probably closer to 38 or 39% per game, which hurts you, especially in a tournament setting. Grambling shooting 41% per game, 41% from the field. Southern's opponents shoot 41%. Grambling's also 41%. Southern is a team that shoots 34% from the three-point line for a bulk of the season. They led the conference in three-point shooting, or they were at least 2 or 1. Grambling shoots 32% from three. Southern defends the three well at 28%. Grambling's opponents shoot 34%. Free throws, Southern shoots 72% from the line. Grambling 72.9. That's 1 and 2. Opponents for Southern shoot 69% from the free throw line. Grambling's opponents 70% from the line. Rebounding, Grambling averaging 37 rebounds per game. Southern averaging 32. The last few games, Southern's been rebounding better. Opponents for Southern, they average 33 rebounds. Grambling's opponents average 35. Turnovers is where Southern make their hay. Southern averages 14.6 turnovers per game. They force 18.8. They do a good job of, with their pressure defense when they can get it going. They can force quite a few turnovers and keep themselves in games or pull away from games in times like that. Grambling, they average 12.6 turnovers per game and they force 13.6. So Grambling doesn't turn the ball over that much. Southern's going to have to force turnovers to really get themselves a chance in this game. Southern needs confidence. They need to get off to a good start against Grambling. They need to find a way to get back to the momentum that they had at the beginning of the conference season, probably to the midpoint of the conference season before they started to hit a little tailspin. Jaden Sadler from Southern is a key guy. He's the top assist guy. He's the second leading scorer. He's second in the league in assists. He's a guy who needs the ball in his hands. He needs to make plays at all times. Tyrone Lyons is a guy from Southern who I would love to see score more. He can shoot the ball from outside. He can get to the bucket. He can dunk it on your head. He can do pretty much whatever you need. Cameron Christian is Gramblin's leading scorer at 14.8 points per game. And, Tremichael Moulton also averages 12.2 points per game. Like I said, I think the pressure's on Southern. I mean, obviously you coming in as a 3 seed, you probably could have been a 1 seed, but you lost a couple games that you probably shouldn't have, especially down the stretch. They need to be able to have success against Grambling. I can see Grambling winning this game. Southern's, had opportunities to close Grambling out. They haven't been able to do it. But I expect Southern to scratch and claw and win this game. I think they're gonna, it's gonna be a dogfight, but I think they'll find a way to win and advance themselves to the next round. Moving on to our last quarterfinal, which is an 8:30 tip-off. Number 4 seed Florida A&M against number 5 seed Alabama A&M. ESPN Plus broadcast entire men's tournament except for the championship game, which is live on ESPNU on Saturday, March 12th, which can be the entire quarterfinal and semifinal rounds can be seen on ESPN Plus for the men's championship, ESPNU. This game is a game I think is even. Both teams, they split the season series. Florida A&M won it on the road. Alabama A&M won on the road. These two teams, they do things a bit differently. Alabama A&M doesn't score a lot of points, but FAMU they're kind of even in that aspect. 67 points per game for FAMU, 64 points per game for Alabama A&M. A&M allows 65 points per game. FAMU 67. Field goals. Florida A&M shoots 44%. Alabama A&M shoots 39%. A&M 38% field goal defense. FAMU 41% field goal defense. 3-point shooting. FAMU shoots 33% from 3. Alabama A&M shoots 27. Alabama A&M's opponents shoot 31% from 3. FAMU's opponents shoot 34% from 3. Free throws, A&M shoots 71%. FAMU shoots 68. Rebounding, A&M leads the league in rebounding at 39 boards per game. FAMU averages 33. FAMU's opponents, they average 35 rebounds per game. Alabama A&M's opponents average 38 rebounds per game. Turnovers, FAMU turns the ball over 13 times. They force 11. Alabama A&M turns the ball over 13.8 times per game, and they force 13. So pretty even numbers. This game comes down to, can Alabama A&M get somebody to step up? Can Jalen Johnson and Garrett Hicks are their guys? Can they get a third guy to step up? We know that MJ Randolph is the guy for FAMU. Can somebody step up for them? I feel like whichever team gets better play from the supporting cast is going to be the team that wins this game. I like FAMU because I think they have Jamie Spears, a guy who's been hurt most of the season, and he came back the last couple games of the year. I think he came back against Grambling, so he's the guy that can score. He can put the ball on the floor. He can create his own shot, and he can shoot threes. Now FAMU can fall in love with 3 from time to time, but I think he'll be the difference maker in this game. So again, I don't have any upsets in my first round, although I can easily see upsets in this round. Second round, semifinal, game 1 winner will be TSU against game 2 winner Alcorn. 2 o'clock ESPN Plus broadcast Friday, March 11th. Wait, that's not right. Excuse me, I'm all off. Game 1 winner TSU against game 3 winner Southern. Southern swept TSU. The games were kind of different. First game, Southern blitzed TSU, a lot of turnovers. They caught them off guard. A lot of turnovers and easy buckets. Second game, TSU raced out to a 10-point lead. Southern was able to gain the lead and pull away. I don't think TSU matches up that well with Southern. Um, I think I can see either team coin flip. This is a coin flip type of game for me. I want to pick Southern because that's my team, but I think TSU is due. I think they're gonna, if they can, get their scoring going. I just don't trust Southern right now with consistency. So I'm gonna pick TSU to win this game over Southern. I think it's gonna be a battle, but I think TSU is gonna pull it out. I think Southern's inconsistency the last few weeks is gonna catch up to them in the tournament. I would love to be proven wrong, but that's how I feel right now. So I like TSU in this one. Game 2 winner is Alcorn against game 4 winner FAMU. These two teams played some close matchups. TSU beat Alcorn on the last second three to win the game in Tallahassee. Alcorn, I think that, I think they're for real as far as being able to make it through this tournament. FAMU can also win. I think Alcorn's a team that's a bit more balanced. They know who they have, and they have some guys who can also kind of chip in also. But FAMU supporting cast is going to have to be key in this tournament. Randolph can carry you in games, but if he has an off night, can somebody else step up and score enough points to win? I'm going to pick Alcorn to win this game, and that sets up a Texas Southern Alcorn championship game. ESPNU broadcast 5 p.m. Saturday, March 12th, excuse me. ESPNU broadcast. I'm going TSU, man. I think TSU is just a March team. Alcorn can win this game. Obviously, Alcorn swept TSU, but I think Alcorn can win this game. But TSU had multiple opportunities to beat Alcorn both times they played. They couldn't get over the hump. I think they do it here. Alcorn, in my prediction, will head to the NIT, but I can also see Alcorn winning this tournament. So basically, my men's tournament bracket, I can see honestly 1 through 8 winning this tournament. I could easily see a situation where Prairie View gets hot and goes on a run. I can see JSU with their defense going on a run. I can see Grambling, winning this thing. If they can get past Southern, then they can get past TSU, and they beat Alcorn once already. So I think that they can go on a run. A&M, with an inside-outside combo with Johnson and Hicks. If they can get somebody else to step up, then I think they can win it. FAMU, a guy like MJ Randolph can probably carry you to 3 wins in 3 days. Southern, if Southern can find that consistency that they had earlier in the year, I can see Southern winning this tournament. Obviously, I picked TSU to win, so I can see them winning. Alcorn, I can see winning. I can legitimately see 1 through 8 winning this tournament because there's no head and shoulders better team in this conference, on the men's side. So I expect a lot of chaos. I do expect to see at least one upset in the first round. I didn't pick one, but I can definitely see one happening. And I would not be surprised if it happened on day 1. So that's the men's tournament break predictions. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to pop in and do a short video after each game to kind of, give an update on the box score and, any storylines from the game. And we'll do that throughout the tournament. And then Sunday, we'll recap the entire tournament and I'll give my thoughts on it. Again, no show tomorrow as far as a SWAC Talk episode, no show. And a live show as usual with SWAC Smoke. Got a live special guest coming in the house. So check that out. DJ is back in the house. So we back and on and popping. Still do want to thank my boy Jamie G for coming in last week and filling in. I always like to get him on, man. He a trip, man. He's a guy I like to chop it up with. So I'm glad he was able to come through last week. So that's gonna do it for me and my SWAC tournament preview. I hope you guys enjoy the tournament. If you're going to Birmingham, be safe and enjoy. And let's have some good SWAC action. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow, and I'll catch you then. Peace.